Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. For those who don't know me, my name is Brandon Watts, and in this video I am going to be walking you through how I found and traded my way to a $560 gain in just under a day and a half with FLEX. Now, I log all my trades on Traderview.com, which basically is a semi-free website that once your trades are imported will show you a breakdown of how you trade through various stats like time of day, volume traded, your profitable days versus your losing days, as well as a few other variables. I am not affiliated, and you can go directly to their site to sign up for free if you'd like to try out their service for yourself, though you'll see here my Flex trade and all the executions that went into it from start to finish. So going into what I knew for this trade, I had just done a scan the night before, and FLEX was a ticker that had come up that I had apparently drawn some support and resistance levels on sometime in the month or so prior. Now, what had first caught my attention was a nice consolidation accumulation that was going on between June until now, with the way the most recent rally made higher lows and built up to its most relative main resistance at $12. At this point in time, Flex had just come up over resistance at $12 that was created back in the beginning of June. Looking here on the daily time frame, I noticed not only had 12 been broken here, but that price had held this level at $12 for the last 5 days. I figured that if price can continue to hold this level, then it may be possible that Flex can go and make the 14% gain from $12 to $14, which was the 52-week high previously. Not only that, but according to Finviz.com, Flex had an average price target of 14.63, with the only major risk being that the last upgrade was back in late April for $9, which the current price was well over, as it ended the day just over $12. Taking into account the zone created here based off this candle, I dove into a 30-minute chart to see how things looked there, which to be honest wasn't too bad. Again, going back to the original statement, I figured that if the price can hold over $12 and curl over and hold over my 9 and 25 EMA, then it may be worth trying to scale into should the price actually start to head towards $14. The theory being that October 14th ended on a doji, I figured that that was an extra point towards helping out its cause, so I set a limit order to buy one tester share at pre-market open to, as the name calls for, test things out. I figured with one share nothing is going to happen to me, and I can see the movement of the stock with some actual emotions in it that you won't be able to get from paper trading. So here we are right at the open, and the price takes a drop. Since I only have a few test shares, I almost immediately forget about it for the next hour or so while trading other stocks. Now, even though I wasn't necessarily keeping a close eye on it anymore, I did however have it on one of my screens running under a 5-minute time frame, so just in case something were to happen, I would be able to glance at it from time to time and make a move if needed, which wasn't until price came back and reheld $12 that I decided to buy a few more test shares, going from 11 to 21 shares total, or just around $250. So still nothing too serious. Then we get to this candle here. I figure, well, price is holding and we are looking better now that we crossed the EMA line, so let me round out my shares to 50 total shares, bringing me now to an average of 12.07 with $600 on the table. Then we got what basically solidified it for me. Since I wasn't recording the screen at the time, I went ahead and recorded the on-demand version of it so I can show you just exactly what happened. We'll go ahead and fast forward through this, as we can see that price is still building up here, and we also have a squeeze forming on the 30-minute, which is a bonus should the trend pop in the direction we need it to. So right here at 10:40 a.m. Central Time, we'll go ahead and go back to real time, and the first thing you'll notice is that the volume seems rather slow. No one buying or selling. No transactions, barely but a few small ones, since most traders either went to work or on lunch break. Then, out of nowhere, this happens. Boom! A big buyer slaps 157,000 shares in the blink of an eye, all on 12.08. Going to the screen I did record, which is my TV screen that shows the S&P and NASDAQ E-mini futures, as well as 5 of my positions, you'll notice I took a quick second to process that unusual order, and then I was in. This time matching my 50 shares with another 50 shares. I said, no way someone just bought $2 million worth of stock and this doesn't start heading up today. Though after that I said to myself, no more. I already have $1,400 on it. Now let me wait and see what happens throughout the rest of the day. If anything happens, I have a day trade and can pull out, and as of right now, things are looking okay. Fast forward again to 12 p.m. and the price is still holding well and has even started to move out of that original loading zone from back in June. By this point, I had to head out as I had a house to photograph, but even as I am working, I'm still watching and trading. Money doesn't sleep and neither was Flex, so I averaged in another 40 shares and then 3 minutes later another 20 shares on top of that, as I figured 40 shares here and 20 shares there wasn't going to wreck my average should the price turn back. Though, if I am too busy and price keeps going up, at least I will have those extra shares in there for later. 20 minutes later, price now consolidates and holds before pushing again, so I add another 10 shares to ride up with the volume coming in. I figure that as long as I add small with the extra buying volume coming in, I should be okay as well as not wreck my average. One of the main reasons for this is that I want to have a decent position built up today, so should I want to sell for a profit tomorrow, I will be able to do so comfortably without using up a day trade while under the PDT rule. Skipping through to 1:40 p.m., I am on my way home and saw Flex still pushing with even greater volume, so now I add my last 30 shares at 12.47 to bring me to a total of 250 shares sitting on a full $3,000 position to ride until the next day. I figure if anything, if the price holds and keeps going tomorrow, great. Though if for whatever reason the price drops at the open, I will take my small profit and start a new position. So skipping to the closing of the bell, Flex closed out relatively strongly for the day by closing at the day's high, and I felt pretty great going into the next day. The next day I woke as usual at 4 a.m. and saw that I was up another $125 on top of the $80 I had made the night before, which is never a bad thing to wake up to. While still laying in bed, I checked the news and saw that Flex had received a price target increase to $16 from $12, and I nearly jumped out of bed. Even though the fresh news, there was still no volume coming in, nor was there anything I could do until pre-market opened at 6 a.m., so I babysat my position until finally at 7:30 there was a nice gap up from the close at $12.50 to just over $13, and I knew it was time to hold on to my britches because we were about to blast off. I quickly formulated a plan, knowing that $14 needed to hold and that $15 was definitely possible with a target increase to $16, so I watched and waited for the open. Finally, once the opening bell hit, Flex took off with some fat volatility, and I quickly realized that with how erratic it was behaving, that the price wasn't going to build up but rather overextend and come back down, so I sold the entire position at 14.48 for a 18.62% total gain over a day and a half or a total account profit of 6%, bringing my total October gains so far to a total gain of 23% for the first 2 weeks. Seeing how my average goal per month is 28%, I can say for now that I'm on track to surpassing that quite nicely. So if you found any of the information here helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button to follow along with me and my small account here at Traderunner. And also, if you'd like to join our free Discord where we discuss swing trade ideas, you can find the link in the description below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.